13, an unlucky number for some, and today we're going to find out what Article 13 is and how it might affect you as a YouTube content creator, or a content creator on any platform really, and more importantly, a consumer of content online. Now, I will be reading some of this because I've made some notes. I'm not the most politically savvy person in the world, but I do think this is very important. So, if you've not heard of this before, what is Article 13? It's basically a directive, the European Union Directive on Copyright in the Digital Single Market. It's a proposed European Union directive, and it's designed to limit how copyright content is shared on online platforms. So, in essence, if I make a YouTube video that's me playing a guitar cover of somebody else's song, well, then they should get paid for it. That is entirely something that I can get behind. It's got good intentions, it wants to protect the copyright holders, but I think what's happened is a bunch of people that don't really understand the internet have decided on something that they think should move forward. And a few companies, large companies, have got behind it, and you may have seen that YouTube are extremely anti this. They've got the hashtag Save Your Internet campaign going on. So what does it look like now? What it looks like now is if I put some content online and it's using, say, a song that somebody else has come up with, or somebody else owns the copyright for it, then I get an email from YouTube saying that Content ID, which is their software or algorithm that detects this kind of thing, has picked up that I've used a song and it's owned by, say, WMG or whatever record label it is. And usually I get a, don't worry, this is just a heads up, your ads will be run on your video, and you can still use this video, but you're not going to make any money from it, basically. Now, my channel is at the point where I'm not going to make any money from it anyway, but I can understand where they're coming from. They've said, hey, this is not your content, so let's take some money from it. Or you might get ads that run on there because they want some money from ads. Cool. All behind that. Where this is different, the onus isn't on me as the person that's created and uploaded the content. Now the responsibility is on YouTube or Facebook or SoundCloud or Instagram or Vimeo or whatever the platform is. And it now means that they would get fined if I were to upload content and claim it as my own. I think YouTube at the moment have got 400 hours of video being uploaded every hour. So they are not going to employ someone to sit through all of those videos and go, is that their own content? Yes. Is that their own content? Yes. Let's let those on. Oh no, that person's using a song by Jay-Z, so let's stop that video from going live. It's just not going to happen. Currently, Content ID is, I mean, it's good for the most part, but I have had some things where they've said that I'm using a song that I don't own, and no one owns it because it's a song that I wrote. If anyone owns it, it's me. But still, sometimes it can go a little bit wrong. But for the most part, for me, it's been okay. If I've had to dispute something, it gets sorted out quite quickly, and everyone's a winner. But instead, what YouTube are needing to do, or what a lot of the content platforms are saying that they will do, is block any videos that get uploaded, plus the ones that are already there, from anyone being able to see it. Because it's easier for them to mitigate that risk by just going, nope, I'm not going to let you upload anything at all. And all those videos where you're using somebody else's content, well, no one can see that anymore because we've blocked your account and we've deleted the videos. So what does that mean? Well, it means that I can't make YouTube guitar covers anymore. Nobody else can make YouTube guitar covers. If you're in the US and you're thinking, oh, well, you know, what about if we're in the US? It doesn't make any difference to us. That's fine, but your whole audience that live in the EU will never see those videos that you put up. If you're relying on the EU as part of your audience and you're making some money from it, well, you can say goodbye to that money because it's not going to even, the videos aren't even going to get there for you to make money on the ads. So this has got a huge impact. More importantly than that, the things that people are sharing, and this is not just about music, the things that people are sharing are actually really useful for the most part. I really love checking out how to play tracks, or, you know, a live video of a band that I'm really into. I'm not the kind of person that will go to a gig and film it, because I like to enjoy the show, but it's really good if I want to check out how a guitarist is playing something, or how a drummer's playing something, or something that's happened at a gig and I wasn't in attendance. It's nice to be able to feel part of that experience if one felt like they wanted to be. But also, another thing that's going to be extremely impacted by this, all of the content creators out there that make things like tutorial videos on how to get a particular shot with your camera, if they're going through a characteristic or a style of a particular director and they're referencing the film, as educational as it may be and as much as it falls into a fair use policy, that will not happen anymore. So you're not going to have any educational videos where it's using any content or referencing any content that that person does not own. You won't have things like, you know, art creation, or how to, I don't know, paint in the style of Pablo Picasso or something, because that person that's uploading it and teaching it doesn't own Pablo Picasso's artwork, so that doesn't happen anymore. If you have anyone that wants to do video essays on a movie or a documentary, that's not going to happen anymore. Any reviews of any content doesn't happen. Any parodies, any covers, any memes, it's all gone, because that person doesn't own that content. If I were to put in a meme right now, then this video would be blocked. A frame of meme and it will be blocked. This is a huge thing. This is a very, very huge thing. If you're a particularly serious channel, and what I mean by that is your content that you're talking about is serious. So let's say, for instance, you have a particular channel, maybe it's about political news globally, and you're referencing news articles and you're referencing news clips, like video clips. Not going to happen, because you don't own that content. So I'm sure that you can hear where I'm coming from with this. Is it's got a big impact, not just musicians, but it's movies, art, news, any media that you can think of, even down to memes. You won't be able to share memes. There's a few other things in this directive, and I believe there's 17 articles altogether. The 11th one, Article 11, which you may or may not have heard of, is the one where there's a tax on links. I'm not going to go into that now, but I'm sure you can check it out. But what's interesting about this is there's a correlation between viewers of particular content who then go on to purchase that content. So what I mean by this is, and I'll show you a story or something that happened to me. It's a story. So I was checking out a channel that I check out very, very frequently, and they were talking about a documentary that had come out. I thought, that's interesting, I'll watch a little bit of this. So I watched the video. They're talking about this documentary, giving it a review. It's a documentary I've never heard of, but I thought, that's really interesting, I want to check this out. So then I went to iTunes and I bought the documentary for 15 quid. That would not have happened if I'd not stumbled upon this video from a channel that's, you know, respected and trusted, but they don't create their own content. I wouldn't have then gone on to buy and subsequently pay the original content owner for that bit of work that they put out. It's not the kind of thing that's huge on the internet, so the chances of me stumbling upon the original version are much, much less. I'm not necessarily saying that everybody that checks out one of my guitar covers is then going to go to iTunes and buy the album, but they might want to go and listen to it again on YouTube, or check it out on Spotify, check it out on Apple Music, which then is going to give the original content owner the money, as much as they're also getting some money if there's ads running on my video or anybody else's video for that matter. So there's a correlation between money, like direct sales going up when content is shared that is talking about this thing. Now, if you were to take that away because you don't own the content, well, the chances of that revenue being as high is probably less. I mean, think about all of the memes that are going on at the moment to do with the Avengers movie, for instance. That's not going to happen. Think of all of the times that, you know, you might check out things like 10 things you missed from the new Avengers trailer. That can't happen anymore. And it would be such a shame, because creativity is being killed off, and I think it's a big shame. But the title of this video is talking about positive things that can come from Article 13. Well, what positive things can come from this do I think? Moakalatte's thoughts. I doubt very much that we're going to get away with putting a disclaimer at the bottom of a meme, for instance. But one of the things that could happen is that people just find a way around it. I've already started thinking of things like VPNs. This video, unlike other Article 13 videos, is not sponsored by NordVPN, so I'm not getting any money from them. Anything that's happened like this previously, users of the internet have found a way around stuff. That's just what happens. This evolves into the next thing. So if YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, Vimeo, whoever can't put that content out, then there'll be another way of sharing it. There absolutely will. I'm not necessarily saying that it has to be a platform, but there might be a new way of doing it. Another thing that might happen is this doesn't get passed. There's loads of uproar at the moment and plenty of people are signing petitions, which you should do. And then another thing that might come from this, or from it not being passed, is that actually there's more of a spotlight on what royalties or what payment is being made to the artist or the creator of that content in the first place. I mean, we're looking at you, Spotify. You pay your artist more. And I'm not talking about, you know, the top 1%. If you're Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber, you'll get some money from Spotify, I'm sure. But we're not all Ed Sheeran. And it would be nice if I put my band's music on Spotify to get a little bit more than 0.00001 of a pence per 1,000 million plays. So it could work in our favour that way. It could be, actually, this isn't going to pass, but let's look at the actual problem and let's see if there's a way around it still. And the last thing that can happen, which I think is a very good thing, is content becomes more creative, becomes more original. There's nothing stopping me putting lessons up where I'm sharing my lick ideas or my riffs or my music for that matter with the audience at home. I own it, so it shouldn't be blocked. There's nothing stopping me, as far as I've researched, in teaching you how to play a song instead of covering a song. I could just not reference the track. So if I don't play the track but I show you the guitar part, then in theory I am still owning that content that goes up. I'm not saying that I came up with a song, but I am saying that I created everything in the video that you can hear and see. Another thing is that any new artist is going to come through, you know, as long as it's not a remix or a parody or a cover, then it might push people to be more creative, more original. And we might see loads of original music, original video, original ways of doing things, art, movie making, that will shine through and put a silver lining on this otherwise terrible article. But that we don't know yet. We don't know until January. I know that this has been rewritten a few times, which is great. It's gone down from something like 800 words to 300 words, and there's many things that have been scaled down, but it's also become more vague. Read into this, please. But what can you do? Well, there's a number of different things you can do. Number one is you can share this video. That's not for me. This is the one time that I'm asking you not to share a video because it benefits me, but this is because it benefits everyone that's on YouTube. You can share the message, come up with your own video, make your own video, hashtag it, save your internet, and follow the campaign from there and do your part. Another thing that you can do is actually sign the petitions. There's plenty of petitions out there. There's one that I signed for the UK, and you can also contact your MEPs, hassle the living out of them and make it more than apparent that we're not happy with this. This is a bad idea. But please, I'd love to see, even if it's one of my subscribers, make a video or actively try to do something about this. Share the message. Let's make this not a reality. But if it does become a reality, then there's some positive things to look at. We could have a focus on the industry or industries as a whole and really push towards getting the original content creators the money that they deserve. If it gets passed, people will find a way around it. I'm sure that they will. And if it gets passed and we still have the ability to make channels, then yeah, we'll have to go through the fact that most people in the EU aren't going to see each other's content. Those outside the EU won't see content. We won't see the content that's made elsewhere if it's non-original. But that'll inspire us to be more creative. We can look at this two ways. One is complain and moan about everything. It's not right. You know, politicians, corporations, blah, 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 blah. And then not do anything about it. Or we can be positive. We can make some new things happen from this. We can be creative with it. We can find ways around things. We can make our own content. So, rant over. Do one thing from that list. Either share the video, share the message, make your own video, sign a petition, or contact an MEP. Some final thoughts. What happens to my channel from this? Well, I'm glad that you asked. I'm going to be making more videos about these things, the guitars that are around me. I'll be making more videos about the gear that I use, and I know that I've said this for a while, but I'm very, very busy. But I do want to push towards this because I've had a lot of people that have asked me about this recently, so I want to share the things that I know, add that to all of the things that you guys know, and we'll elevate our knowledge so much more than if I just share a video of me playing somebody else's song. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to work towards more lick-based, technique-based, instructional content. How to get the most out of your gear, how to get the most out of the knowledge of the fretboard, for instance, that you know. The 3 top things, and this is going to be a video that I make very soon, the 3 top things to really sound like an incredible player and be an incredible player. And it's not about technique. Particularly, it's not about hard technique, but you'll have to stay tuned for that video. And I'll be sharing stupid stuff that I do, like another one of my guitars that I'm sure you can see right now. At the moment, half of it's not there, so I wonder what I'm doing with the other part. You'll find out. Until the next time, stay positive, chin up, we got this. Speak soon. Peace.